Welcome, heroes, legends, and warriors of Sanctuary. My name is Omni, and I am your guide to Diablo Immortal. There are now a ton of new legendary runes, and today we're going to make a sense of everything. I'm going to help you understand how to look at a rune, and we're going to rank all of them so you know what the best runes are and what runes not to get. Let's take a look at base magic attributes. Base magic attributes on a yellow rune would increase base magic attributes by 6%. So my damage is boosted by 6% on this piece of gear, making my damage 44,750. Oh, 47,850. Alright, 47,850. Now, if we were to swap it out to my legendary rune, it would increase from 6% to 8%. That's a 2% increase. And you see how much it increased? It increased my damage by 11 points. 11 points out of 47,000. This is a tiny number, and it is nothing. It is minuscule. It is something that you don't care about. Alright, so first thing we learned in this video is that it doesn't matter if the base magic attribute is increased by 6%, 8%, 9%, or 10%. It does not matter. You gain about 11 damage. So that is something that we aren't even going to consider in this video. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at everything else. These are your epic and legendary Pant runes. These runes go in your pants. Well, let's look at ATI. Stun resistance increased by 2%. This is a C+. It's not a great skill, but it's still usable. What's not usable is dash skill cooldowns reduced when you defeat a monster. This is rank L. L for low. I don't even know why the skill is in this rune. It could be deleted and it will not change this rune. Continual damage taken decreased by 4% is amazing, and it is rank A. So for a total, that the epic ATI rune is a rank B. Alright, let's look at the last leg runes. Last leg runes, stun resistance increased by 4%, is a C++. Continual damage taken decreased by 4%, still an A. Now, you gain a shield equal to 20% of your life when you fall below 10% life. This shield is actually not exactly 10%. It's not 20% of your life. It's a really small shield. So unfortunately, it's rank B. So last rune is going to be A-. Let's take a dying rune. The dying rune, damage taken when suffering loss of control, decreased by 4%. That's rank A. It's really good. So if you're stunned or frozen, you take a lot less damage. Let's take a heal by 1.2% of your maximum life every second you are out of combat. And it takes a while for you to get out of combat. You have to be out of combat for 5 or 6 seconds before you start healing. And it's not very fast. It's just not really good. 10% of overhealing is converted into a shield. This doesn't even work unless your class has healing. You have to be able to lifesteal or something. And it doesn't work if you have full health. So I don't know how you use this. This is B-. If your class can heal. This is like a useless, almost useless rune if your class can't heal. So this goes between rank C to B-. It's a horrible rune if your class can't heal. Alright, let's take a look at the other one. Damage taken while moving decreased by 3%. That is rank B. It's pretty nice that you take less damage while moving. Then we have the skill dash skill cooldowns reduced by 0.02% when killing a monster. This is a low skill. This is laugh out loud, or just a loser skill. Heal for 0.25% of your maximum life when defeating an enemy, or heal for 2.5% of your life when defeating an enemy player. 2.5% is also laugh out loud. Now, if the 2.5% was instead you gain 20% of your HP back when you kill an enemy player, it would be useful, but it's not. It's 2.5%, and therefore this rune is ruined. It is a rank D rune. This is the best, like, it has the best attributes, 10% additional attributes, but that doesn't matter. This is just a horrible rune. Now let's take a look at the offhand runes. These are offhand runes. Damage to elites. That's a D rune. Nobody needs your help killing elites. Damage to full life enemies. That's also C- D rune. It's pretty horrible. However, primary attack damage increased by 4.5%. That is a rank A skill. Very, very nice. Plus 2 other mediocre skills. So the Yours rune, it's epic, and we will give it a B. Alright, let's take a look at the rune. The rune, one of my favorite runes. It's a rune that I'm currently using. Damage to elites, 4%. Also, pretty trash, it's D+. Damage to full life enemies, once again, pretty bad, C-. However, this is one of the most sought after stats in the game. Very hard to get. Critical hit chance increased by 4%. This is, in my opinion, SSS tier. So, SSS tier, so the Zor rune is A+. Alright, let's look at the new Pin rune. Damage to elites, also D+. Not very good. Damage taken reduced by 1.5%. That's an A rank skill. Damage to shielded enemies is increased by 8%. So, this is a good rune versus shielded enemies, also known as Tempest. Yeah, so this is a rune you would get to fight Tempest, but it becomes kind of useless versus other classes. So it's good if you fight somebody with a cat. It's good if you fight Tempest. So it's a rank rune, but definitely, in my opinion, not as useful as a rune that increases your hit chance by 4%. Alright, let's take a look at the Rare rune. REH. Your primary attack have a 6% chance of reducing enemy attack and movement speed by 20% for 3 seconds. That is B. That's a B rank skill. It's alright to reduce enemy's attack, but 20% isn't. 20% is a very massive debuff, so it's rank B. Primary attack damage increased by 4.5%. That's really good. That is A rank. And then damage to enemies suffering from loss of control increased by 10%. And this is an S rank skill if you're able to stun or freeze your enemies. If you are a class that can stun or freeze your enemies, plus you also primary attack, this rune is for you. This rune is rank T for Tempest, because this rune is made for Tempest, because they will flowing strike into you, stun you. They will stun you in other ways, like Blade Dance. So this is a rune if your class stuns enemies and primary attack a lot. So this rune is only good if you're a Tempest. Alright, let's take a look at all of the chest runes. The chest runes we have, the epic rune Sir. Damage taken while suffering loss of control by 2%. That's A-, because it's only 2%. Monsters have a chance to explode. This is an L skill. This is a skill that doesn't matter at all. Block chance increased by 2%. That's a really good skill. You can block all damage. It's rank A. So Sir gets a B-. Let's look at a Phi rune. Damage taken when suffering loss of control. Now this is 4%, so it's an A rank. Block chance increased by 2%, also A rank. Restrain. Loss of control duration increased by 16% when you crit them. So this is B ranked here if you CC. Why is it B rank and not A rank? Well, let's say you stun somebody for 1 second. Then you increase that by 1.6%. So you stun them for 1 second, 0.16 seconds. So this isn't very long. If you have a 2-second stun, then maybe it's okay. It turns into 2 seconds, 2.3 seconds. But there just aren't very many stuns that stun for 2 seconds or longer. So this skill is nice if you have really long stuns. If you have a lot of potency. So I'll give this a B+. Base attributes. Alright, no. Let's take a look. Stun resistance increased by 4%. That's B. B rank. Evasion rating. Alright, so evasion is something that no one has been able to use. Alright. Very hard to get evasion. Your gear, you can't get evasion on gear. You can get accuracy. But you can't get evasion. So the only way to get evasion is if there is a legendary equipment that you can get that increases evasion. Usually that only increases it by 19%. So all of these evasion stuff that goes for the QOT rune is pretty much useless since it's impossible to build an evasion character. So this rune, C+. Now let's look at the DAW rune. Attack speed increased by 2%. S tier. Let's look at monsters have a 9% chance to explode. This is an L. This is horrible. Dash skill cooldowns recovery rate increase by 0.12% for every 1% attack speed you have. Alright, let's say you have an additional 50% attack speed. So if you have 50% more attack speed, then your dash skill cooldown recovery rate is increased by 5%. That's B-. So this is a B+ if you have a lot of dash skills. If you don't have a lot of dash skills, then this rune isn't that great for you. This rune is pretty bad for you. However, if you have a lot of dash skills and you have a lot of attack speed, this would be an okay rune. Alright, let's take a look at heads and shoulders. Head and shoulder runes tier. Damage taken while moving decreased by 1.5%. I'll give that a B-. Attack speed increase by 2%. Once again, that's S rank. Beneficial effect duration 4.5%. Again, S rank. Tier rune is very, very good. It gets an A+. Let's take a look at the Auth rune, also head and shoulders. Damage taken while moving decreased by 3%. It's a B rank. Attack speed increased by 2%. S rank. Skill cooldown reduced by 4%. Also S rank. So this will be an S-. S-. This will be an S- rune. Very, very good rune. All three skills are very useful. Alright, let's look at the tool rune. Continual damage taken decreased by 4%. Very good. A rank. Maximum life increase by 1.5%. I put as B-, but to be honest, it could be a C rank skill. Who cares about 1.5% max life? It's probably worth a C rank. I don't even think it's B-. Nearby enemy damage decreased by 4%. That is A rank. So I mean, it's good for all the melee units that try to hit you. This will give you B+. Okay, B+. Let's look at the last rune. T-A-H-T, Tot, the Tot rune. Block chance increased by 2%. That is rank A. Beneficial effect duration increased by 4.5%. S rank. Damage taken from players and elite monsters reduced by 2%. So damage taken from players, it's A rank. So not bad, not bad. For total, TAHT rune will be S-, also S-. Alright, so the head and shoulder runes may be a little confusing because there's two different S-. So you get the TAHT rune if you have beneficial effect duration. Right, if you have buffs. If your class that you play doesn't have buffs, get the OTH rune instead. Finally, we are going to take a look at the main hand runes. Now, this is main hand, so you get 2 of these. You can get 1 for each of your main hand weapons. For the fire runes, damage increased by 2% to enemies below 30%. This is B+. Your primary attack has a 6% chance to reduce enemy attack and movement speed. This is a B rank skill. Skill damage increased by 3%. That is S rank. So all your skill damage increased by 3%. Very good. Alright, let's look at the Lev rune. Damage increased by 4% to enemies below 30% HP. B++. Primary attack has a 6% chance to reduce enemy attack and movement speeds. B rank. Crit hit damage increased by 6%. That would be S-. So the Lev rune, the Lev main hand rune, is also a A rank rune. The reason I don't give crit hit damage increase by 6% and S rank is you're not going to be crit hitting but about 30% of the time. So the damage you get is only going to be there 30% of the time. However, it would change if you had a satyr that banners all the time. If you had 100% crit banner, then the Lev rune would be an A+ rune. If you're a satyr or you PvP with a satyr all the time. Alright, let's look at the AST rune. Damage increased 4% to enemies below 30% HP. It's B++. Movement speed increased by 3%. That's A rank. Dash skill increased by 0.12%. It's pretty small. Further and faster for every 1% increase in movement speed. Let's say you have 50 increase in movement speed. That just 50% increase in movement speed. I think you get about 6% further and faster. That's not very much. You're just going to dash 6% farther. I don't get what the point. It's B-, even if you're a Tempest. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty bad. Could be a B- or maybe even a C. So AST rune is B+. B+. The Lev and the Fire rune are both better than the AST rune. Alright, let's look at the ROM rune. Damage to full life enemies increased by 5%. Enemies are not full life all the time, so you only get 1 hit off on them. Yeah, that's a C rank. Skill damage increased by 3%. This is S rank. Damage to players increased by 2%. Also S rank. Just straight up 2% extra damage. All your damage is increased by 2%. So the ROM rune has 2 skills that are really good and 1 very trash skill. So I give ROM rune an A rank. If you want to be very generous, you can probably give ROM rune an A+. And that's about it. Now here you have it. This is every single epic and legendary rune tiered, and you can now compare and see what runes are better and which runes you might just skip. This can save you a lot of platinum. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.